Guys, it's Marl Sims here, back with another speed build. And today I am actually building a house that's going to be the new family home for my Seasons Let's Play. I was actually going to upload a part of the Seasons Let's Play today, and I tried to record it, and literally everything went wrong. Everything that can go wrong did go wrong. The events are still totally glitched, so we tried to have a party and no one showed up, so I tried to redo the party, and then they all just got stuck outside, and my toddler was crying, and it just turned into a big disaster. So, I decided that I'm just going to record this voiceover and leave that and try to come back to it later and fix it and maybe just replay that day. I don't know. But this house is actually going to be their next family house. I want to move them in after the winter time. I think they need to upgrade so they can start a family and so Cora's garden can get bigger. And if you haven't watched that Let's Play, you totally should. I was building this house this morning while I was working, and I'm actually there was pause there. I'm actually a full-time nanny, so I spend a lot of time with kids, and I have a lot of free time while they're like napping and doing other things. So while the kids were napping today, I was working on this house, and what I realized is the Seasons glitch that makes everything like lag a little bit when you do the wallpapers is so bad. Like placing wallpapers, you can see now this is sped up 8 times. So the wallpapers were going 8 times slower than that. So it was literally painstaking. So I didn't do a lot of like variety in this house on like what the wallpapers are, and some of them might be wrong, but like honestly, it took me probably like an hour and a half just to try to place all the wallpapers with this glitch. It was honestly so horrible. So I tried to cut out as much of that like horrible wallpaper placing as I could, but obviously I left a little bit in so you could just see what I was dealing with. So if there's like any like wrong, like missing wallpapers in this, like please just forgive me. Also, what I'm doing is adding in a garage because I wanted this house to be very much in the same style as the house that the family's currently in. Basically, I wanted this house to be new to them, but an older build. So I imagine this house is built in the earliest like late 80s, early 90s. Like it's got all those like dark wood themes. It's kind of like closed off, not really an open floor plan, and I didn't want it to feel too big. Now obviously on this lot it's hard to build like a small house, so it did end up being a little bit bigger than I wanted, but I just added in like a laundry room and like a closet for the decorations box to go in. Oh, and here's a big random pause I forgot to cut out, sorry. And like a decorations box and like stuff like that to make the house feel smaller. So I definitely wanted this house to feel like a little bit enclosed. Sorry if there are any more random pauses like that. I tried to cut them all out, but I was building this while the kids were napping, so if like one of them cried or woke up, I had to get up and tend to them and make sure that they were still sleeping. So there are some weird pauses, maybe. I think I cut them all out, but it's hard to tell. Right now I'm just building like a little flower box outside, get some landscaping in. The problem that I found with this house when I was doing the screenshots is that because the lot is so big, it looks so empty. And like I did landscape and I did put some trees in, I did all of that, but like just the lot is so huge that there was no way for me to like make it look full without overdoing it. And of course, this house is expensive, but I didn't want it to be I didn't want it to look too expensive. Like, clearly I'm going to have to cheat my family money for them to buy this house, but I wanted it to look like they may have been able to afford it, you know? So it looks like an older, probably less expensive home. Also, if you are watching that Let's Play, it has a lot of like the furniture that is already in their house. So it's like that they just kind of took all their furniture and moved it into a new place and didn't buy all new furniture. And I think that's totally realistic. Right now and the floors take forever to place too, just like the wallpaper. But right now I am making a little pool area. I'm going to do a little canopy with some furniture out there. I think it turns out really, really cute in the end. I love having a place for them to throw summer parties, and they're going to have barbecues, and it's going to be so much fun. This like canopy awning thing I do this a lot. Oh, here's another pause, sorry. I do this a lot, and a lot of people seem to do this a lot. I think I originally saw it from a Sim Supply video. But today for some reason, just with all the glitches and how laggy my game was being, it took me forever. Like this took me so long to get right, and it's not even really worth it. I also, when I was recording like the gameplay part of my Let's Play, I ended up having to turn my view distance on short, and that's super annoying. but like I will keep my lighting on forever. Like I refuse to turn down my lighting from very high. So like everything else is on low, but my lighting's still on very high. And that's just because like I love the way it looks when the light like shines in and like the detailed shadows, and I'm just really not willing to give that up. But I've never really had a problem with my game glitching before Seasons. Don't get me wrong, I think Seasons is great and it's been so much fun to play with, and I love the winter time and all the new activities. But dang, if my game keeps lagging like this, I might have to take Seasons out of it because I just can't get anything done. I can't do any gameplay. It's hard for me to build. And I swear the wallpaper, literally just the worst. Like I keep talking about it, but it's literally the worst. Right there, I'm just creating like a little closet. That's what that little like 4x4 room's gonna be. I should have cut out the floor plan because this floor plan changes so much throughout the build. I literally could not get it right. I could not find anything I liked. Ooh, excuse me. I couldn't find anything I liked. I couldn't find anything I wanted to use. So it took me forever to get a floor plan that I was happy with. I actually had a really, really rough morning this morning, so it felt really good to just like sit down and play The Sims and be happy. And I think I'm just going to talk about it a little bit because I like to watch videos of people who are really open and talk about their personal life. So I want to do that because I think you should create content that you'd be interested in watching. So I woke up this morning and my anxiety was just really bad, and I was just feeling really like self-conscious and gross. And so of course I called my boyfriend and I was like, hey, I'm freaking out. I'm having a horrible morning. And he was like, okay, come over. So it was really nice. I went over and I watched Pocahontas, and I got really, really inspired watching Pocahontas. That movie, when I was a kid, used to be my very favorite Disney movie. I would watch Pocahontas like 4 times a week. I loved all the music and I loved the message, but I haven't watched it in like probably like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years. So today, this morning, I watched it and it's still so good. And I spent like the whole morning like live tweeting gifs of like what was happening in Pocahontas because I just love it so much, and it's just such a good message. It's crazy how the themes that applied then, people taking land and not taking care of it, also apply now and also applied when that film was made, you know. It's kind of funny, I guess, just like some things never change. People are always going to be. Oh, I accidentally rotated the build a bunch of times there. People are always going to be greedy and not care about the environment, and that is super sad to me. I love the environment. I love animals. I spend a lot of time outdoors. Some of my favorite activities are outdoors, and I love to take in animals. I've taken in so many, like, orphan baby animals. I've helped raise raccoons and baby birds, and of course, like the normal things like calves and pigs and dogs and cats. One time, my stepdad even found some reptile eggs in the backyard, and I decided that I was going to try to raise them. So I tried to raise these eggs, and unfortunately, they never hatched, but I was going to save them even if they were snake eggs. So that's just like who I am. I love the outdoors, and I love nature. And so Pocahontas really resonates with me because it's really a film about, it's a film about acceptance and learning to love people who are different than you. And it's a film about appreciating the land because Pocahontas is so smart and so in touch with the world around her. And it's such a good contrast to John Smith because he's smart about like book things and she's smart about like her soul and like the land. And it's just so beautiful when they're talking about how she's saying like you can own the earth and still all you'll own is dirt until you understand how everything works and how it's all connected. And I just really, really love that, and I really, really love that movie. Here recently, I have been really, really busy with college. I am taking 6 college courses over the summer mini session, and usually people only take like 2 or 3 because it's just like a mini semester, and 6 classes is more than some of my friends are taking in their full fall semester. But next year I am going to school in New York, and I am moving to New York City. So while I am still in Texas, I have to get as many courses out of the way as I possibly can so that I'll be ahead when I get to New York. So I've been taking AP courses in school since like sophomore year, and now I'm graduated, and I'm taking 6 college classes over the summer. I'm just trying to get it over with because this fall I get to move to New York, and it's literally my favorite city in the world and my favorite place. But my classes aren't really too hard. Like, most of them are pretty easy. The only one that I've had any problem with is my online statistics class. And it's because, like, the program that we use to do the online statistics is literally insane. Like, we have tests on this program, except I can't find where the tests are, so I'm pretty sure I might have gotten a 0 on a test grade because I couldn't find out where to do the test at. And I tried to email my teacher, but unfortunately he was on a Boy Scout expedition with his son, so he never emailed me back. So I hope that I get to take my test and I don't make a 0, but I couldn't find it because the dumb program we have to use is dumb. And, like, there's a tab that says web test on it and, like, says test on it, and clearly you would think that's where it would be, but there is nothing there. And I scrolled through every single one of our assignments and none of them were test. I'm hoping maybe it wasn't an error on my part and maybe he just, like, forgot to upload it or something. That's what I'm really, really hoping, because I really cannot afford a 0 on a test grade. But other than that, all of my other classes are going really well. I think I have 100 in literally all of my other classes right now, knock on wood. That's really good for me. I'm trying to keep my GPA high because obviously if things don't work out at the school I'm going to in New York and I have to move back to Texas, then I want to have enough like credits under my belt and enough like good grades that I'll be able to get good scholarships here, since I turned down a lot of really good scholarships to schools in like Austin and stuff to go to New York. And I am going to New York to go to performing arts school, and then I'm going for 16 months. Well, not 16 months. I'm going for 2 years, but like the first one is 16 months, and then I am going to try to act. I've been acting basically my whole life. It's something that I really love to do, but it's not my only passion. That's why I'm already like taking a bunch of classes and stuff, because if that doesn't work out, I'm coming back and I'm going to finish my political science degree, which is what I've started, and then I'm going to go to law school and be a lawyer. But I have so many passions. When I was in high school, I did literally everything. I did band, I did student council, I did drama club, I did one act play every year, which in Texas is like the competition play. I did UIL academics, which is like competition academics, and I did Ready Set Teach, so I got to go teach in a kindergarten classroom for a year and be with babies, which was so much fun. And I did debate, and I actually, my senior year and my junior year, made it to the state competition for debate, which is a huge deal. And then my senior year, I made it to the state finals round of debate, which is like completely incredible and so exciting. And it was like the top 20 debaters in the whole state of Texas, and I didn't win, but I ended up ranking 11th. So I am technically the 11th best Congress debater in the state of Texas, which is really cool, just like a little fun fact about me. So I really love politics, and I really love to debate, and I really love to talk about policy and all those kind of things. And I also really love the law. So that's why I'm going to go to law school if acting doesn't work out for me. But I've also been acting basically my whole life. I've been in theater since I was 10. I started doing community theater when I was 10, and I did that for like 4 years. And then I started high school, and I've been doing theater with my school. And every year we have done the one act play competition, which in Texas is like competitive theater kinda. It's a UIL event. And we have made it to the regional round twice, my junior and senior year, which makes us one of the 25 top shows in the state of Texas. And then my sophomore year, we made it to area, which is just one round before regionals. And then my freshman year, we didn't even advance past district. But my freshman year was like the first year that my theater director had ever taught at our school. So like she was like brand new and she was really good, but she didn't know any of us, and she didn't know any of the kids there, and it was her first year teaching there. And we were just honestly god awful. Like before she moved to our school did not have a theater program pretty much at all. So when she moved there, she really had to build it up from the ground up. And like our first year was just bad. It's some of my best memories, but we did the show 12 Angry Jurors, except we had to do it with 12 Angry Women because we only had girls in the entire like cast and crew. We had one boy, his name, I shouldn't say it. Okay, well, this kid is, like, really, like, weird. Like, he's, like, one of those kids that's just, like, a little bit off. And since he was the only boy, he would always, like, be in the dressing room with us and, like, when we were changing and stuff. But, he would always, like, okay, so he would be in the booth, which is like where the lights and sound are done, and we would have another girl backstage, and they would both be on headsets while we were doing our performances so they could talk to each other. Well, in the competition, not only can they two hear each other, but like the entire faculty that is working the facility can also hear. And he got on the mic and started saying like really weird stuff about like how he had to go to the bathroom and just like really personal stuff, and like my director could hear him, and like the entire faculty of the school could hear him, and it was really, really awkward later when he got in trouble on the bus. But I had a lot of good memories come from that show. There was actually one girl who refused to watch the movie Miss Congeniality, so my director took away all of her lines and made her sit in a chair in the back of the stage, like facing the back to where no one could see her for the entire play. And that was like honestly hilarious looking back on it. It was horrible, of course, but it was hilarious looking back on it. And I just love theater so much. It's honestly like my biggest passion, and that's why I'm going to try to live my dreams and move to New York and try to be an actress. Just because like it's honestly just my biggest passion, and I just don't want to ever think what if, you know? I don't want to grow up one day and be like, man, what if I would have tried that and not know? Like, no matter what now, I'm going to know. It's either going to work or it's not, and then I'm going to come home and do something else. And then I also really, really love musicals. Of course, I love Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen. I love Wicked. I love Hairspray. Oh, one musical I did not like. Okay, so let me tell you the story. So I was in New York I was in New York for, what's that thing called when the ball drops? New Year's Eve. So I was in New York for New Year's Eve, and my mom, we could only afford to see like one musical a piece. So my mom and my sister, no, me and my sister were going to see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Well, we had an unexpected death in the family 3 days before we were going to leave. So instead of leaving like 3 mornings away, we decided to leave like the next morning, and our tickets were for that night. Well, I was walking outside. Keep in mind, it was literally 7 degrees at the ball drop this year, but I was walking around outside, like going to my show, walking to my theater, you know how it is, and I thought that I was just going to be like in a taxi and then like in a theater. So I didn't think I'd ever have to be outside that long. So even though it was only 7 degrees, I was only wearing blue jeans, a tank top, and a cardigan, because the theaters are usually like pretty warm in my experience. And I walked past the Richard Rodgers, which is where Hamilton is performed, and there are only like 7 people in line for cancellation tickets. And if you don't know what that is, it's like when someone cancels, they'll sell you their ticket at the door. And I was like, that's the shortest I've ever seen the line. So I got in the line, and I was like, you know what? Even if I miss my tickets to Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I'm going to wait in this line. So I'm waiting in this line in the 7-degree weather for literally 2 hours, wearing nothing but jeans, a tank top, and a cardigan. My teeth are chattering, my toes are turning blue, like I can't feel my feet at this point, and I am the very next person in line to buy tickets for Hamilton, and I'm so excited, I'm freaking out. I've been standing here in the cold for 2 hours, and the lady like will open her door and be like, how many tickets do you need? And I'd be like, 1, and that would have been awesome, except she opened her door and she said, sorry, we're all sold out for the night, not selling any more tickets, try again tomorrow. And I swear, I have never cried so hard in my entire life. Like, I was just standing outside of the theater bawling, and my mom took a video of me, like, crying about not getting into Hamilton and put it on Facebook, and someone commented, they were like, are you really gonna let your daughter act like a brat like that and cry over a musical? And she was like, yes, actually I am, because it's her favorite musical, and she's wanted to see it for, like, 3 years, and she was the next person in line. So I didn't actually miss my tickets to go see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that night, because the theater was just like right across the street from where the Hamilton Theater is. So I ran in, and I was the last person in, and they ushered me to my seat. And Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was horrible. Like, it was the worst musical I've ever seen on Broadway by far. Just like, they didn't do the music justice. The set was just like a bare set with like blue walls, and it didn't have any kind of like set pieces or anything. The costumes were really simple. And, like, I could see what they were going for. Like, they were going for, like, a really, like, minimalistic, like, use your imagination theme. It just didn't really work, though. Like, I feel like when you do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you really have to, like, go big or go home. And they just went home, honestly. Like, it was not the best. So I spent, like, the entire show, like, crying next to my sister who was trying to watch the play. And I was just bawling because I didn't get into Hamilton. But the story has a happy ending because for my graduation, my mom actually bought me tickets, and they're like really good tickets, and I'm so excited. They're like row 15, so not too close, not too far back. And I'm honestly have never been more excited to see a play in my entire life. And I have seen so many plays and so many musicals, but this one is like my all-time favorite. I'm so excited. And like I always watch Little Simsies videos, and she's got to see it like 3 times now, and she talks about it all the time in her speed builds. And like sometimes like I act like a brat a little bit, and I have to like shut the speed build off, and I'm like, it's not fair. She gets to see it. But now I get to see it, so I can finish watching all of her speed builds now where she talks about Hamilton, and that's so exciting because she's like my favorite YouTuber. And now I get to be the one who talks about Hamilton all the time. And I'm just honestly so ready to see it. Going back to the house. Sorry, I just went off on like a really long rant. I think we're putting in some of like the last furniture. We're doing like the outside patio deck. And we're adding in like the barbecue and like the chairs. And if you've seen my season's Let's Play, you'll know that like most of this furniture stuff that was like already in their old house. So it's not really like that new or exciting. And I think you saw earlier, I did the gardening thing. No, I haven't done the garden yet. Okay, so like the very last thing I'm going to do is like make the garden. And what I did was sectioned it into like, sectioned it into like 8 different quadrants. And I'm going to do like 4 of them are going to be for spring and summer plants, 4 of them are going to be for fall and winter plants, and then eventually I want Cora, who is the mom of my Let's Play, to be able to like build a greenhouse and like rotate which plants are inside depending on what season it is, and all kinds of stuff. But I didn't want to like start with the greenhouse because I wanted them to kind of like have to work for it a little bit and like build up to it. And also they have a toddler, so like actually no one can use the swing set right now, but I just wanted it there because I love the way it looks. I just love to look at it, you know, like it's such a nice addition to have to the game. So I put it in the backyard anyway, even though the toddler can't use it yet. It's still just like really, really, really nice. And now I'm building a little like sand pit, just making a little square, putting some sand in it, and I'm doing a little bit more landscaping, which is always fun. This family is like really into their gardening, and they're really into their like being outdoors and like doing all the seasonsy stuff. They tried to throw a Halloween party today, and it went drastically wrong. So, you know, there's that. I can't wait for them to like update the game and like fix like all the horrible stuff that's been happening, like the wallpaper glitch and like the event's not working, because like as good as Seasons is, it's so glitchy right now that it's like almost impossible to play, and that's just super disappointing because I really, really love the pack. I just wish that it didn't do this all the time, you know what I mean? I think that my favorite season in real life is fall, so I've started basically like all of my save games in fall because I just love the fall time. I love Halloween. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite times of the year. I get to see my whole family, and we all go out, and after Thanksgiving we all go shopping together and have a big slumber party, and that's honestly just like amazing. And I love Halloween. Like I think that everyone loves Halloween, but like it's just so good. I love to dress up. And this year I'll be in New York for Halloween. I'm really stressed because I'm not going to have any friends when I get there. I'm going to have to make all new friends. And I just want people to dress up with and go to a party with and wear a fun costume. Oh, I'm so anxious about it. Like not having anyone to like do Halloween with. Like I'm so used to having like my group of like 5 friends, and we all do Halloween together every year. And this year me and my best friend Mac, we were going to dress up as Shigo and Kim Possible. But we can't now because she's going to be in Texas and I'm going to be in New York. And it looks like we are coming to just about the end of this build. I think we're about to hit the screenshots. So thank you so, so, so much for watching. If you enjoyed the speed build, please subscribe and watch some of my other videos. Check out my Seasons Let's Play. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.